Hey guys, how's it going? We are back for our Q&A again, and Brent is still sick at this point. If you saw the community post, I posted over there saying that there was going to be no video last Friday. He has been so sick, it's been absolutely awful. He has pneumonia and an infection in one of his lungs, and so it's been a rough 2 to 3 weeks over here. It's actually probably been a rough month over here. I was sick for about 2 weeks, and now he is on week 2.5 of being sick. So, and I've never seen him like this. So hopefully he recovers quickly. He has a X-ray on Wednesday. So hopefully on Wednesday they're starting to see some type of improvement in his lungs. We will see. I will keep you all updated with it. Let's jump into it. I'm going to make this quick. And this week's videos are probably going to be very short videos just because it is going to be all me filming and all me editing. And so I just want to keep them quick, simple. I'm not doing anything on the greenhouse this week just because that's a project that I need to have help with. So let's jump into it. Last week's videos were the Q&A, demean comments bother me, and then I did cutting back and planting more. And then we did where we picked up the stone, which was very exciting. And then I started the stonework, and then I talked about some really strange alliums and pulled them out. So let's just jump right into it. I don't think I have any announcements or anything. Oh, I do have one announcement. Last week's videos, I had harvested seeds from Columbine. If you are interested in the pink petticoat Columbine, I am going to put a Google Docs link down below. Fill it out. It's going to ask for your name and it's going to ask for your mailing address. Submit that information, and I'm going to send out as many packets as possible of the pink petticoat Columbine seeds harvested from our garden. I don't guarantee germination rate or anything like that. It could be a fluke year where none of them germinate, but I thought it would be fun to be able to give some of you guys seeds from my garden. I have no clue how many packs of seeds I'm going to be able to send out. I'm hoping to be able to send out at least 30-40 packs of seeds. So if you're interested, drop your name in there. Priority is going to go to anybody who is a channel member. So if you're a channel member, in your name, put that you are a channel member, and I will go ahead and cross-verify that if you're interested in the seeds. So yeah, so little Google Doc, fill that out really quickly, and I'm hoping to get as many people seeds as I possibly can. So the first video from last week was our Q&A, talking about do mean comments bother me, do we need a permit for the foundation, some greenhouse spoilers, and all kinds of things. Actually, last week's Q&A was a lot of really good questions. First question on that video was from Judy, and she had said, I may have asked this before, old fart brain, do you get willow borers in your area? It would be a shame to lose your beautiful willow tree to borers. We do get borers in our area. I mean, I got the apple trees, they were full of borers, so now we just preventively treat everything. So I treat our willow trees, we treat fruit trees, I treat our alder tree, and our birch trees. Those all get systemic. So we pour it in the ground, the tree sucks it up, and then any borers that go in and start eating the wood, they die, and they can't do really any damage. So we do get borers. It would be such a shame to lose that willow tree. I would be heartbroken. The next question on that video is from Connie Elliott, and she had said, OMG, that dahlia behind you. Better look and name, please. Can't wait to watch you this week. Who am I kidding? Every morning. So the one I think that was behind me was the Pineland Princess. Honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed in it. I thought it was going to look better than it does. If you look online, Pineland Princess is very full. This one, it's very frilly. It looks kind of like one of those cactus style dahlias. So I don't really love that. Those are like my least favorite of the dahlias. It is pretty. It's just not my favorite, and I have 3 of them in the garden. So I think this week I need to stake up my dahlias, so I'll do that this week, and you guys will get a closer look at some of them. And then I need to film a full garden tour. The garden's just such a mess. And then the last thing that I really just wanted to say about that video was there were so many kind comments, because we had posted a short video about getting some negative comments, and I know that all of you guys that are really watching are just the kindest. We rarely get negative comments on our long form stuff. It's usually if I post it to Facebook or if I post it to Instagram, it's the short form stuff. So it makes it really hard for me to want to make short form videos, but I really enjoy making them. They're fun to make. My short form videos are usually just really funny and to make people laugh. And so anytime I get like a negative comment on that, it's usually somebody who doesn't watch. It just happened to pop up on their feed. And so it is what it is. The only time negative comments really, really bug me are when somebody tries to correct my grammar on here. I'm like, you knew exactly what I meant. You didn't need to correct it, but whatever. Those are the only time that I really get like bothered by comments, and they are like far and few between. So it rarely even happens anymore, which is really, really nice. When I first started out, it was happening all the time. Now I think I've made enough noise that I don't care that now it doesn't really happen. The next video that we did was cutting back, planting more, and dreaming of that greenhouse view. And it was just good little cleanup in the garden. It was, we got some more planting done. We got the rest of the annuals in the garden. Yeah, it was just things that just needed to happen in the garden. The first question on that video is from Wendy, and she had said, hi, I have 2 questions. First one is, where did you get that hose wand for your hose link? And why haven't you mulched your garden yet? I just thought being in a hot climate, it would be #1 on your list. Not judging, just asking. And your garden is gorgeous. You're doing a great job. The hose wand is from, I bought mine from Terrain. I don't really recommend buying it from Terrain right now. They changed the design on it. And so I would recommend getting it from, I'm gonna put a link to 2 websites that look like they have the original design. They're using photos of the original design, which is the one that I have. It's by Haws. I bought it from Terrain. It's an investment piece. It's solid brass. So it's a definitely investment piece for sure. And then as far as not mulching my garden yet, I just haven't had the time. That's what it boils down to. Usually it's pretty high on the list, but I don't know, I just haven't done it this year. I really do need to do it. I really, really need to do it. I keep looking at the garden and I'm like, oh man, it needs to happen. I also need to trim up the willow tree. I don't know, I think life just gets away from you, and some years mulching is very high on my list and some years mulching is not very high on my list. The next question on that video is from Lynette, and she had said, question, I love all your videos. You're doing an awesome job. Just wondering, I know you love your new adventure, but do you miss your barber job? I do miss my clients. I don't miss cutting hair. I don't miss cutting hair one bit. I miss the connection that I've had with my clients. And what's been really hard is I've had quite a few clients who have texted me saying, like, hey, when are you coming back? They're like, okay, we're over you being gone. You need to come back and do hair now. I'm like, okay, I know. I'm hoping that one of my friends, she's opening up a barber shop, and I'm hoping that maybe like once a month I could get in, and that way I could at least see some of my old clientele and be able to just connect with them. There's really not a whole lot of human interaction that happens here when I'm in my backyard filming videos. It's just Brent and I. And so it would be nice to do that. I don't miss being covered in other people's hair. You guys should have seen the inside of my cars. There's hair from other people because I'm covered in people's hair at the end of the day. You get hair splinters, which is a real thing, and it's splinters made out of other people's hair, and it gets in your fingers, gets in like the webbing of your fingers, gets under your fingernails, and they hurt so bad. So there's a lot of aspects that I don't miss. But I do miss the connection. The next question on that video is from Empress Kimberly, and she had said, hey Robbie, question from New Hampshire, Zone 6. Our annuals seem to be your perennials. Do they come back for you for many years like our perennials, or just a few times? I vaguely remember you saying a Vista Petunia was on its 2nd year and would need to go for next year. Jealous New Englander here. So petunias, I can usually get them to winter over. There's a lot of annuals that I actually can get to winter over. And a lot of plant tags will say annual, except for in zone 9, 10, 11 or 10, 11. And if it says 10, I might be able to winter it over. Usually I can get 2 years out of it. By the 3rd year, it just looks exhausted because annuals put out so much energy. They just get so tired. So 2 years usually. I've tried to do a 3rd year on them, and they don't look good, so it's not worth it to go for 3 years at all on any of them. The last question on that video is from My Secret Garden. They had said, have you considered giving your willow tree a little trim? Your view would magnify. Don't you want to see your fountain? The greenhouse is perfect. Yeah, the willow definitely needs a trim. We actually can barely walk. It's all touching the ground now. So usually 3 times a year I'll come in and I will trim up the willow tree. Usually what I do is I grab a handful of branches and I pull them down and then I cut into it, up it, so that way it still kind of has like a staggered effect to the willow tree. What you'll see a lot of people do is they'll come in and they'll hack it just straight across. I personally don't like that look. I still want it to look very free. I just don't want the branches to be touching the ground. So I will be doing that once I'm back to 100% and once Brenta is feeling better too. So maybe in the next like 2 weeks that's gonna happen, but it definitely does need to happen. And the next video that we did was a slow garden day until we hauled 1,000 pounds of stone. And the 1,000 pounds of stone was hauled before either of us were sick. I've been trying to get ahead of videos and we keep falling behind being sick. I'm trying to get ahead. So all these videos that you guys are gonna see, I'm right now about 7 days ahead of schedule. And so the 1,000 pounds of stone, we had like a couple days where we were actually feeling really, really good. And we were like, let's go pick up this stone. And then it just destroyed us. And so I'm trying to get ahead though, because I've got this trip up to Seattle. And so when I go up there, I want to make sure that I have enough videos that videos can play while I'm up there. And so I'm trying to like stack up and get ahead of schedule and we keep falling behind. It is what it is at the end of the day. I mean, whatever. We got to take care of our health, right? The first question on that video is from Bearbell, and they had said, are you going to put the stone on the back side also? As no one can see the back, that would save a lot of stone. It will look nice. How do you know where the actual greenhouse will fit if you put the stone on first? Just a question. So we are going to do stone on all 4 sides on the outside of it. The back side of it is going to be like a secret garden back there. So you will see that side. The only side you won't see is the side that's up against the fence, but we're gonna just do it just to be cohesive with the whole thing. And then as far as knowing where the greenhouse will fit, so with BC Greenhouse, they told us that we needed to do a minimum of a 4-inch wall. We chose to go with a 6-inch wall, so our wall's already 2 inches bigger than it needs to be. And then I'm gonna add the stone to the outside of it. The stone's not going to sit on the top, it's just gonna sit on the outside of the walls. So we're not worried about that at all. It just makes our walls now 7 inches. The stones are probably about 1 inch, maybe 1.5 inches. And so it really won't matter because the greenhouse sits on top of it. It doesn't sit on the, it doesn't wrap around to the sides of it or anything like that. The next question on that video is from As I Am, and they had said, hey, hello, hi there, Robbie. Have you considered using black and white checkerboard laminate? They are more reasonable price. Oh my gosh. That was crazy. They are more reasonably priced and good durability, average 10 to 15 years. I don't even know what that was. I found some on Amazon that I think I might order. They are a laminate one. They're from Chris Loves Julia, which I think they have like a line at Target or something like that. And I found them, they look exactly how I want them to look, but they're laminate. And so my thought is if I can get 4 or 5 years out of it and it's gonna cost me $150 versus $1,200, let's do that to make sure I actually like the checkerboard pattern. And then in a couple years, once the wallet has recovered from all of the recent projects around here, then I will go ahead and I will probably splurge and buy the flooring that I want. I want marble flooring for in there and I want this checkerboard pattern. And I figured let's just go the Amazon route. And if I love it, great. If I don't love it, it's okay. The next question on that video is from Lindsay, and she had said, if the color of the limestone isn't quite right, would a concrete stain applied with a pump sprayer and a light touch be an option? I cannot wait for the end product. I'm sure it would be an option. My plan is it's called overgrouting. And so usually when you'll see people do like stonework, they will have it so it's got like a little gap and then the grout is like stuck back a little bit. So it's not very far, it's not like flush with it. My plan is to have it so that I've got this big gap and then the grout is flush and then a little bit of the grout is gonna go actually on top of the stones themselves. So it's not going to be like perfect, it's gonna just be like almost, I don't want to say flat because it's not going to be flat because of the texture of the stone, but the grout is basically going to like meet up with the stones instead of being recessed a little bit. And so my plan is to also get some of the grout on top of the stone also. And the last question on that video is from A Art, and they had said, love the Texas limestone. It will give the greenhouse a beautiful clean look with the glass. Have you thought about using brick for the inside floor? That would give a beautiful cottage look as though it's been there for ages. Plus, it will tile into some of the reddish yellow marks on the limestone. I actually have a huge pile of old bricks behind our shed. It's a really big pile, and I don't quite know what I'm going to use them for. It's not enough to do. It would be enough if I thin bricked them, so if I cut the bricks in half, and I could use them for the floor in there. But then I don't really have brick anywhere else on the property, so I'm trying to figure out a way that I could tie that brick in. I really want to use it. I love the look of brick. I just don't know where it would go. I also don't know if I want to spend the time to cut all that brick in half. We'll see. I have so many options. I've got so much time too to figure all that out. So brick would be so beautiful though. That was actually my first thought. And the last video for the week was from starting with stonework and the strangest alliums. God, they were so ugly. So many of you guys, a lot of you guys said you liked them. I don't love them. I thought they were so incredibly weird looking. This is why gardening is cool, because we can all have our own different styles. The first question on that video is from Lisa, and she had said, do you have to get a septic tank cleared out every so often? I mean years. Yeah, it's every 5 years is recommended. So we actually have been here about 6 years. So we are definitely due for it. When the guys came, they had put in a camera scope down it, and they said that we were actually probably pretty good for right now. They said it's recommended every 5 years, but you can go longer. So we don't know when it was cleaned out when we bought the house. So we are definitely due to get it cleaned out though. The next question on that video, I never thought I'd be talking about septic tanks so much, was from Lisa, and she had said, looks beautiful, but I am confused. How do you guys buy a house or own a house and not know if you have septic or sewer lines? I'm perplexed. So when we bought the house, the listing online said that it was on city sewer, and the house next door to us also was for sale, and it also said that it was on city sewer, and it was listed by 2 separate real estate agents, so we believed we were on city sewer. And because there is a old tank, we can see where the old tank was, and it's filled with concrete. And so what'll happen is, like, when a tank goes bad and they need to get rid of the tank, instead of digging it out, what they do is they'll usually fill it in with gravel, and then they'll fill it in with concrete. And so there's an old tank and it's filled up with concrete. And so we thought, oh, okay, they filled the old tank with concrete and then they just ran it to a city sewer. And then we kind of started to realize, like, wait, something's off about that. We can't be on city sewer. And so we did have it checked out, and yeah, we definitely are. Well, we had a really strong feeling that we were on a septic tank. And so then we had it checked out, and we definitely are on septic tank. The next question on that video was from Stacy, and she had said, are you ever scared to take on a project that you don't exactly know what you are doing? I always have so much anxiety if I'm attempting something brand new. That usually leads to my husband and I getting in a few arguments before we can get started. You always seem so brave going into new projects. I don't get nervous. So Brent is the guy who does all the research. He needs to know everything. He's going to watch 45 YouTube videos. He is going to learn everything he can about this project. I am the person who, I'm like, we'll wing it, and we might have to go to the hardware store 45 times. So we are two totally opposite people. I'm the one who's just brave, and I'm like, let's do it. We've got this. We can get it done. He's the one who wants to do all the research, so I think it's a really good combo, because he'd be like, no, look, we actually need to do this. So I'm like, okay, great, let's do it. So we have a really good, we work really well together on a lot of projects. There are some projects we do not work well together on because our brains also work different. Then we will be saying the exact same thing, but we will be saying it different. So then neither of us think that we're understanding each other because we're saying the exact same thing, just differently, if that makes any sense at all. So there's certain projects that we don't work well together on. And the second that we start bickering, we're like, okay, let's separate. You go do a different project, I'll go do a different project, and then we can come back to this, or only one of us needs to be doing this. So I don't ever get nervous. I'm like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I have to redo it. I don't know. Brent gets very nervous. The next question on that video is from Hope, and she had said, hi Robbie, may I ask the size of your garden? It's going to be lovely. We are on just under a quarter of an acre, so just under. And the last question on that video is from KP, and they had said, good morning, Robbie. Why would you limit up so high? Maybe just a few branches from down below would work and not cause it to fail. you don't want it to look like a lollipop. Anyways, this is a later video, I get it, so whatever you did would be just fine. You were doing a great job on the stone on the greenhouse foundation. Thank you. So as far as, I believe you're talking about the crabapple tree, so I had to move the crabapple tree yet again. I also have decided that I don't think the crabapple is for me. I love when they bloom, and I love the little crab apples that they get, but I just don't think it's for my garden, which is fine. I need things that have better interest for a longer period of time, or that have really big interest when they do have any type of show. So we decided to take it out, and the crabapple, because I bought it bare root, what it is basically I bought a branch that was attached to a rootstock, and that branch is now branching out. And so you have to go in and you have to train that branch up. Even if I was leaving it in the landscape, I want it to be a tree. I don't really want it to be a shrub. So I would have gone in anyways and taken off all of those lower branches. And realistically, all those branches that you do see, those are all going to end up coming off at some point. I'm going to continue to train so there's a new leader, so the tree continues to go up and be tall, and that way you can walk under the tree. So if I had left all of those, what would have happened is it really would have just turned into a giant shrub. And instead of a tree, it would have had branches that were like at ground level, and you really don't want branches at ground level on any type of tree. So that's the reason that that one got limbed up as high as I limbed it up. Also because I know that I didn't get all of the rootstock out of it, so I needed to remove some of the top growth, so that way the roots that I did save don't have to work so hard to keep the rest of the tree alive. So that, my friends, is going to be it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I'm gonna go inside. Brent and I are trying to just sleep. That is all we are doing. Anyways, thank you guys for visiting our garden, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.